Everything rises and falls on communication. And let's settle this truth. Communication is not optional, but it is foundational. You can have love, lots of love, but without communication, the relationship will suffer. You can have a purpose, but without communication, the church will divide. You can have a talent, but without communication, again, the team would definitely collapse. And you can still have the vision, but without communication, the leadership is bound to fail. So, in every setup, communication is the glue. In relationships, love alone won't sustain you. You must learn to speak, to listen, to understand, apologize. Because silent treatment isn't maturity. Healthy dialogue is. In a family setup, assumptions breeds tension. Parents talk to your children, not just at them. Children express, don't explode. Create space for vulnerability. In church, unity doesn't come from attendance, it comes from understanding. Understanding and leadership without open conversation becomes control. So members who don't communicate become spectators, not servants. In the workspace, even the most skilled worker becomes a liability if they can't communicate. Clear updates, honest feedback, respectful engagement. This is how a team is supposed to be. Let's take it, for example, even at school. Learning thrives where communication flows. Students who ask grow, and teachers who listen inspire. Silence is not humility, it's a missed opportunity. Here's what I've learned. Most broken things weren't caused by hate. They were caused by poor communication. Most delays in life aren't from lack of resources, but from misunderstood expectations. Most doors don't close because you are unworthy. They close because you didn't ask the right way. Wherever you go in life, learn this. Speak with honor, listen with humility, and respond with wisdom. Apologize with integrity and clarify with grace. Don't just be present in spaces, learn how to communicate in them. Because no matter the space, church, family, school, business, or relationships, communication is the oil that keeps everything running, lubricates the machine. It's not just what you say, it's also how you say it. Let's talk about a skill that could change direction of your life and your approach. Let's talk about approach again. Approach is very key. Yesterday, I shared how I met my destiny helper, Mining Belinda, here on Facebook through the comment section. And while I love the energy and the hope it sparked, I also noticed and I identified a gap that needs help. Some of you immediately started posting credentials, degrees, job experience, visa requirements. Some of you were even saying, I hope someone will identify me. But hear me clearly and hear me with love. That's not how relationships are built. That's how opportunists present themselves. Not people seeking connection, not people seeking alignment or tribe. I mean, just throwing in your credentials. I asked one lady, I said, is this an introduction? I hope she's listening. Here's the truth. People who change your life rarely do so because of your CV. They do so because of your character, because of your conversation, because of your consistency and humility. Dropping your qualifications in a comment section isn't networking. You're just being an opportunist. And I'm not sure who log onto Facebook to look for anyone with a degree. It's a transactional behavior in a relational space. So you can't be transacting in the comment section. If you really want good relationships, that leads to destined moments, be intentional, not desperate. Ask questions, show interest. Don't rush to sell yourself in the comment section. Push people off. Lead with connection, not a request. Nobody likes to be seen as a means to an end. Build trust first. Don't treat people like opportunities. Honor them as humans. Your next helper is not your savior. They are a partner in purpose. Okay? Allow time. Relationships that last are not built in panic mode. They grow in quiet consistency. I'm teaching this with love because I want you to win and win well. I want you to attract doors that stay open, not doors that shut because of a poor approach. Remember this. Desperation makes so much noise. Wisdom speaks. Entitlement demands, but honor requests. Impatience burns bridges, but respect builds them. Let's grow beyond survival mode. Let's network with grace, with presence, and with purpose. Because your tribe isn't found through begging, it's found through alignment. Especially on social media, your approach is your currency. Your message is a handshake. Your comment is your CV. Get this right. Your tone, that's your character speaking before you even introduce yourself. I've seen people walk into destiny, changing relationships through one well crafted message. And I've also seen people getting ignored, not because they were unworthy, but because their approach was off. Why are you posting, I'm a ECD teacher? Who cares? We are here to build a tribe. You're not here to exchange currency or transactions. Here's what I want you to learn. Clarity is powerful. Don't just say hi. Say why you are reaching out. Hi, my name is Tsitsi. I'm reaching out to you because your comment on Amazing Grace, brought intrigued me. It brought something into me. Would you mind if we can pursue this conversation in our inboxes? Introduce yourself well. Don't present yourself as an opportunist. Hi, can you help me? No one is responsible for helping you. And when you say, can you help me? Who wants to commit to someone that they don't know? I spoke about mine in Belinda. I went to her inbox. I asked how she is, how she's doing, before I even presented my case. You guys, you just read the post and do you honestly think if I just said, I'm coming to Canada, she would have responded to me? Why? So what? not the one who organized your trip. She would, you build relationships. Find out how she is. Remember, you're talking to a human being. She's not brick and mortar. I've seen people walking in destiny changing relationships through one message. Introduce yourself well. Follow up on a comment. Appreciate their comment. Show interest in their comment. And show that you want to learn. I'm looking forward to learning a lot from you. I perceive you as a fountain of wisdom. That's oiling the machine. That's oiling the machine. But if you present yourself, hi, I'm an ECD teacher, I would actually ask you, so what? Because I'm also an EHS manager. Everyone has got something going on. So why do you think you posting your profession is, that's not how we build relationships. Be honorable. Speak with respect, not demand. People give where they feel valued and not used. And people know when they want to be used. Be intentional. Don't jump straight into favors. Build connections. Show interest. Let the relationship grow before you start presenting requests. And again, language matters. A casual register might work with friends, but when you're speaking to professionals, you're speaking to mentors, you're speaking to strangers, level up your tone. Don't over familiarize. Because you see me on Facebook every day doesn't mean that we are don't become too familiar with people. You may follow someone online, but that doesn't make you know them personally. Respect the boundary. Know where to draw the boundaries. Social media is a gold mine if you learn how to dig with honor. That DM that you're about to send could lead to a job, a mentor, a business collaboration, a home in a new country, or a lifelong friend. But only if your approach reflects the destiny you are reaching for. Star, there's a lady, a social worker called Star. I was intrigued. She said, will I be wrong if she said something about wanting to be part of my family. That's how you start relationships. Remember, you don't get a second chance at a first impression. Your approach is a seed. Plant it well, water it with honor, and wait with patience. Your tribe isn't born. Sometimes it's messaged. Let your inbox reflect your vision, and let your comments reflect your wisdom. Let your tone reflect your purpose. Be present. Engage with intention. Speak like your next level is listening, because it just might be. When I spoke about mining Belinda as an example, by the time I went to Canada, I knew her kids were XYZ. I don't want to say their names because I haven't asked her to speak about the kids' names on social media. I'm respecting her privacy and the relationship that we have. But all I'm trying to say is, you don't just jump into, I'm coming to Canada. She would have asked me, so what? When you come across influential people with substance, now I'm talking to, say you've got an opportunity to meet with, let me give you a practical example of people that we all know, like Strive Massive or like Ramaphosa. You don't just meet a person and you start presenting your request. Remember, people invest where they see potential. I always tell this story. I've got one counselor for Galway that I'm so much into good books, so much good books with Claudia. You know, there was a time that I was looking for a house to rent in Ireland. You know, accommodation can be an issue. And so we would meet for coffee. You know, she's such a very humble human being, very beautiful soul. She would say, it's higher. She knew that I have a serious problem with accommodation. So she would ask, how is house hunting? You're sitting over a cup of tea. I'll tell you, everything is under control. When everything was not. The reason why is I didn't want her to feel that if she can't help me, then she feels bad about everything I'm putting. Don't put your burden on other people. So she would ask, I said, everything is under control. Yet there was nothing. And there is one lady that I respect so much. There was a lady who commented on one of my posts, and her comment struck me as if she's a person who is in a situation. And I asked her, I normally do that. If you really follow me, you notice I ask that. What is the manna that you are praying for? So manna is something that will just take you from this point. Something just, you remember the widow in the Bible. The widow will say, I only have this for me and my son. After we eat, then we die. So that is what I refer as manna. I say to her, what is it that you want today? What is your dire need today that will take you from this point to tomorrow? She responded in a very humble way. She said to me, the Lord knows. And I said, but I'm not God. I'm a human being. I'm asking you, what is it that is causing you to have sleepless nights? Then she came to my inbox. She said, I don't want to say it, but things are difficult. Me being as a mother, I've been there, I've done it all. I always pen down my story so that people can relate. I know what that means. When a mother says things are hard, I said to her, okay, what's your full name? She gave me a full name, and I sent her something. But this was an opportunity for her to say, there's no mealie meal, there's no cooking oil, there's no Vaseline, there's no blah, blah, blah. But she didn't say that. She just says things are hard. As a human being, there was no way that she was saying it's hard because she doesn't have a car. There was no way that she was saying things are hard because she doesn't have a jet. These are the basics of life. And since that day, I respect her so much that I check on her, I talk to her, and I told her that I might not be able to help you, but I can be able to provide manna for now. But she never asked for anything. She just said, things are hard. Why am I telling you these stories? I want you to understand how relationships are built. If you are quick to make requests, people run away. If you are quick to be asking, you remember the Shunammite woman? She said, all is well. I don't know if I'm talking to someone who is at a situation where they are saying, all is well. That statement is a loaded. Things were not okay for her. But there is a time when you realize, you know what, to offload it takes time. It's even more difficult to offload it. All is well. So this is what I wanted to teach to you today, to say that post sparked a lot of, in fact, it was an opportunity for me to identify a gap. There is a gap, there is an age group that I think our education system did not do them justice. At school, was it primary or secondary, when we learned about registered communication registers, there is an age group, and some of them are my followers. Hear me, my little brothers and sisters. Registers are so important. Do you know there's someone who can just come to your inbox and say, send me a link? because I do understand that there is a gap. There is someone who didn't do right by them in the education system. And sometimes they would write IDK. I mean, look at me. You write IDK for me. What do you think I would say? What do you think it is? I don't even know what it means. So there is someone who didn't do right by you in your education system, but registers are very important. Go online, Google online, and learn registers. Learn how to introduce yourself. Hi, my name is Soren. So I'm reaching out to you. I'm so interested in your post. I wanted to find out if you can share more. You know, that's how you introduce yourself. You don't just jump into someone's inbox and say, send me a link. Why must I send you a link? Who are you? Is it my responsibility to send you links? So this is the response that comes from someone whom you've just bumped with such a request. What happened to, hey sisters, how are you? How are you keeping? How is the weather? How's the family? How's work? Hey, my name is Soren. So I'm reaching out to you because of the ABCD. What happened to the please? What happened to the may I? And some of the people I would realize there's a gap. It's not their fault. Someone didn't do right by them. Someone didn't teach them. Okay, then if I have the information I provide, some don't even say thank you. There was a lady yesterday that I deliberately gave out. I gave it out to her. She's my age. So that was my basis of me. No, I was very tough on her. So this lady we met about 1.5 years ago at a certain place. And because she is from one of the southern countries, I don't want to say the country because it's not really necessary. But what I recognize is what I know is we are of the same age. And we spoke about environmental health and safety and. Then I think I met her 3 or 4 times. We exchanged numbers. Then she moved to somewhere else. She called me yesterday asking for, oh, hi, sis, how are you? My name is XYZ. I said, oh, okay. I recognized their voice. For some reason, I'm very good with voices. I recognized their voice, but I just played dumb. Hey, I wanted to ask. I said, hold it right there, sis. I'm not an encyclopedia. I'm a human being. Hi, why is this? I said, when I gave you the information initially, you just disappeared. You never gave me a feedback. Now you're coming back because there's a problem. So do you think all my life I'll be sitting and waiting for you to come back? Where were you? What happened to keeping relationships warm? And the reason why I gave it out to her, because at her age, I expected better. Expected better. So what am I saying to you? I said, keep relationships warm. There are people that when I came to Ireland, I have got so much regard, so much respect for Facebook. I've met strategic people. All my strategic people, I met them on Facebook. That's why I have so much respect. That's why when I see people living anyhow on Facebook, I ask myself, do they know that this is my breeding ground? So what am I saying? I am saying when you are on Facebook, behave because someone is watching. I mean, I didn't know that on that group, Belinda is from Canada. It was when she responded, when she passed a comment, and I went to a profile. Then I noticed, Haibo, this person is in Bellington. Oh, okay. Then I now prepared my approach. You don't know who's watching. Be mindful of your approach because your approach can open or close doors. There are people that even when someone sends a request in my inbox, I do go to your profile and check what you do. There are people who behave anyhow, post anyhow. In the streets of Facebook, I see them where people are fighting. They are also joining the family fights, so and so, so and so. Then you come, then now we need help. I'm thinking, this person with such vulgar that she or he was talking, I don't want to get involved. Behave well. The world is watching. Your approach can open or close doors. Revisit your registers. Revisit how you approach strangers. Don't over familiarize yourself. The spirit of familiarity is no good. It's no good, even to people that you know. Because once you become too familiar to people, you develop an element, a spirit of entitlement pops up. Then you start thinking you're entitled to. I hope two people have learned something. This is what I had to teach in terms of approach, in terms of communication, and in terms of Facebook character. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I am Amazing Grace.